We're going to talk about how to add an assignment. So you're going to create your own assignment within your modules. So I was in module, I clicked on the plus sign and went to add assignment. The very first option is going to be in brackets and say create assignment. I'm going to click on create assignment. I'm going to put matter because I'm talking about science. If I want to indent it, I have the options here. I'm going to hit add item. You can see the difference between the icons. So this icon is a piece of paper with no pencil. The discussion is conversation bubbles, and then the assignments have the pencil, which means it's something the student is supposed to do. I'm going to click on the assignment matter, and you'll see there's no details, there's no points. It actually says the word nothing. Nothing is set up on this yet. You need to click on the edit option. Once you go to edit, you can name it. Again, this is where your directions, your links, your Google Drive, presentations, any of those things you can attach here in this section. From there, when we do points, it is recommended that you grade this out of 100 points. So that is something to be aware of when you're doing this. In assignments, this is a very important step if you are going to sync your grades to Skyward. So under assignments, the very next thing says assignment group. You need to click and notice that you have assignments or imported assignments. We need to go to create group, and we're going to make an assignment group that matches what our Skyward gradebook says. So FOR for formative. Once it's created, we're going to hit that drop down one more time and go to create group and put SUM for summative. Those are the two grading categories within our gradebook in Skyward. You will be using these two options when you create assignments. So let's say that this is a formative assignment. So I'm going to click to 4. I want the grade displayed as points. Does it count towards the final grade? Yes, I'm going to leave that blank. The previous video I created was on submission types. Notice you have submission type right here, and the very first option is no submission. What no submission would mean is that it would show up as a to-do item and an item on the student's calendar depending on what view you're in, but they don't turn something in to you physically. It just means it's going to show up, it's going to be a reminder on their calendar. It is for them to do something, but it is not for them to turn in something. It could be to present in front of class. They're not submitting anything through Canvas. The next option is online. With online, you have a considerable number of options, and you can use all of them or just one of them, or any options that there. You can have more than one or just one. The very first edit option is text entry. That is going to be like that word processing screen where they would just type in text. They could format it, bold it, attach things to it. The next option is going to be a website URL. If the students are creating something outside of Canvas or outside of Google Drive, they could submit the URL to that. So let's say they made a Canva presentation, or they did something in STEM Scopes, or they made a video and it was somewhere else. They could link to that and put the web URL here. The next option down is media recordings. This allows the students to use the embedded Canvas Studio features to create recordings and upload them. The next one down is something I'm not sure so many people know about, but if you click on student annotation, it now gives you the option to upload a file, including a PDF, for a student to annotate on top of it. So the way that you had been using Kami just to annotate over PDFs is embedded under student annotation within Canvas. So that is an option here as well. You would upload the file or search for the files on your computer. The final option under online is file uploads. This lets you restrict what the student uploads. So if you say, I need you to create this, but you need to upload it as a PDF, you can come and click Restrict File Upload and say that you only allow PDFs. And so if the student tries to put anything else in here, it would not accept it. I'm going to go right back up to the top where it says Submission Type, and we're going to go to On Paper. This is exactly what you think it is. They're going to turn a piece of paper into you, but it will tell them this is on paper. You will not complete this in Canvas. The reason that you might make an assignment that says on paper would be so it shows up on the Canvas calendar and the Canvas to-do list. The next one down is an external tool. Let's say that you're using something in STEMscopes or something like that. You could use this external tool feature. We're going to continue to scroll down and look at our assignment settings. Allowed attempts. How many times do you want them to do this? If it's more than one, then it's unlimited. If it's limited, you can set the specific number of times. Sync to Skyward. If you've picked formative or summative and used 100 points, then you can click this button, and what it will do will be create this assignment in your Skyward gradebook for you automatically. You put the grade in Canvas and the grade will sync over and do the math in the Skyward gradebook. So just know that that is what this means, but you have to have formative or summative and it needs to be out of 100 points. As we scroll down to assigning, you can assign this to everyone. You can assign it to specific students or specific groups. To save an assignment, you have to have a due date. You have to have a date that it is due. Whatever date you pick, it defaults to the time is midnight of that day or 11:59 of that date. Available from means that they can log in and see it from this time to this time. So available from would be if you wanted them to see it starting today and until. This means that they will no longer be able to submit anything late. It's due on this date, but you can allow it to be late if you put in a till date, so it's only available until the 3rd. After the 3rd, they won't be able to see it and they won't be able to submit it late. You hit save, and now all of that happens. I don't have an external tool on this option. I'm going to go change this to no submission, and we're going to save it and go about our business. Now you can see it's 100 points, submitting nothing because they're not. I told you there was no submission. It's assigned to everyone. It's an available from to this date. So now you've seen all the steps to setting up an assignment.